That is obscenely dense EPP. I know. Wow, that foam. Where's the dents? Howdy, it's Matt, and it's a foam day! Everybody loves a foam day! Foam day, foam day, foam day! And I am wandering off to get my coffee. Oh my goodness me, I have been so spoilt. So spoilt for foam. Now this one's special. I don't know if you can see that little label. Yeah, that'll be 100% upside down for you. And someone's left his speakers on. Let me mute those. Right, this model has come all the way from the Netherlands. It literally has just been released. And it's going to be very, very curious. I know, I've got to be honest with you, I know very little about it. I can't tell you the wingspan, I can tell you the format, and we will see the format in a moment. But this is literally news to me as well. I'd spotted a different model by the same company, Stealthwings. And anyway, I saw they were coming out with this one. I was like, right, chuck it over. And just for absolute clarity, I bought this model out of my own money for my own abuses. I am being a little bit wary just in case there is an invoice in here. I won't mention cost. All I will say it was over €100. I don't know what the final price is going to be. What I will do is put a link to the site in the video description. I will also mention a couple of things, right? Number one, we always hold off final verdicts until we get the model in the sky. And we do that for every single model, regardless of what it is. That said, I've seen the instructions, I've seen one of these fly. It looks really, really good. There's a nice little checklist in there. Let's have a quick look. Oh, right. The one thing which I do need to do is print. I think I might need to print some mounts for the motor, which is absolutely fine, because I still don't know which motor I'm putting on there. I haven't been for the box, and I've got, as you can imagine, a whole collection of other builds going on here at the moment. So trying to schedule this in and the other ones and the electronics is a little bit of a challenge. So checklist is fantastic. Let's just get ourselves in here. As you can see, ludicrously well packed. Let's get rid of the packaging. Oh, nice. Already, first impressions is nice. That looks like balsa Edabon pieces in here. Extremely well packed, which is, let's face it, it's a bit overkill for Matty for what we're going to end up doing with it. That's a really nice touch that we've got some laminate included, and that feels like really nice laminate as well. I normally use a roll of just general laminate, and that stuff is actually thinner. I quite like that. I don't know if I'm going to use that on the model because I quite like using that one, but that laminate is nice because it's not stupidly thick. Which I've had before. It's almost like hardboard. So that, yeah, nice quality laminate. I am just going to put that. Let's put it on the workbench. We'll get that to one side. Right, what else have we got in here? Ooh, what's in here? Where's my knife gone? Oh, it's like Christmas. What have we got in here? Oh, thank you, sir. Right. Okay. Oh, wow. Those are nice. Check out the premium quality twisty doodads. Look at those. Look how good quality those are. I've never seen those. Those are just beautiful. Those are really, really, really nice. In fact, there's me going, they're really, really, really nice. I need to show you how really, really nice those are. Let me zoom right in so you can appreciate them too. Do you get what I mean now? Those are super nice. That's obviously to keep the lid, their main canopy, into place. There is a little bit of gravity in them, but we won't hold that against them. Stealthwings labels, cards. Right, must be a vertical fin. We've got the winglets for on the end. We've got some form of mountain bay, beautifully well 3D printed. In fact, that's really curious how that he printed those because, yeah, of those. Whatever 3D printer is using, he's got that very, very well homed in. And the reason why I'm saying he's got that very well homed in, look at those two nodules on the back. Yeah, have you worked that out? So that had to be the top side. So there must have been supports underneath this side here to get the reflex in there, to get those down. So yeah, he's got his 3D printer really well dialed in. I'm quite jealous. Right. Yeah, we got a collection of different motor mounts for the different size motors. Like I said, I genuinely don't know which motor mount I'm going to use in. I think there's going to be a really good... Again, the quality of the printing is absolutely fantastic. If you look up inside of there, normally we would see a load, and especially with my printer and ABS, is that we would see a collection of support material in there. And that printer is extremely well dialed in. Wow, look at those push rods. They're like 2.1mm push rods. That's obscene. Way too much. I like it. They are going to be seriously robust. I'm already thinking tree basher. That is actually what's going through my head, is tree bashing. That is glass fibre rods, which we've got in here. I don't know why we've got tape on the ends. I presume just to keep them together. We've got one short spar and a long spar, so I guess the longer spar goes through the middle of the model, shorter spar at the back. And yes, Matt will carry on, and we will get to these other pieces which we've got in here. Nice stickers. I like stickers in the right circumstances, as you may have seen from a previous build. Ooh, again, nice to see glass. That's glass fibre. Obviously it's glass fibre, because carbon fibre is black, but that's glass fibre, and it's a very dull noise, which is the giveaway noise that that's glass fibre rather carbon fibre. Wow, look at the size of that fuselage. That's nice that it comes pre-built. I know from previous experience sometimes it can be difficult to, it's not a big job, well, for a more experienced builder, but I know some people have struggled just putting getting things straight in a fuselage, because it's really important that you get things straight in a fuselage. Wow, look at the, I'm going to go on a bender. I will get this out, we'll have a look at it properly in a moment, but I'm just in awe. I'm enjoying this experience, because there was the 3D printing kind of gave it away just a few moments ago. And look at the imprint on there. So that's been laser etched in there. This has been, that's double plywood battery base in there. And that's beautifully laser cut out as well. The same for the fuselage too. They haven't skimped on glue. I don't know what glue they've used, but it's not Yoo-hoo Pour, because it's not gone orange. Yeah, and that foam is it's EPP, for 100% sure it's EPP, but that's a really high, and you'll see me, can you see the tendon straining in my fingers? Okay, really pushing in on that. So that is a real high density EPP foam. Sorry, yeah, EPP foam. That is really nice, and I'm really stretching that to make it flex, and it's not having any of it. I like that. So what have we got on here? So I assume that we're going to have a front hatch here with those screws in, and then maybe a rear hatch down the back as well, or maybe all of it in one piece. Ah, there we go. So that fits up there, and a little bit extra on the back. So yeah, we'll see about that. Bolster elevons. It's not the hard bolster, but they're already pre-made. That's going to be nice and straightforward for me to laminate and get on there. I've got some white lamb here as well, so I'll be able to keep it white. I'm saying, don't quote me on colours just yet. Oh, I've not had sexy foam here in ages, and that is very sexy foam. Just look at the cord. Right, what can we tell by looking at that cord? Okay, that cord it's got some sweep out on the bottom, and it's nice and thick. That tells me, okay, is that this model is going to be quite nice in a wide range of flying conditions, as in that it's not going to be a ultra fast model, because that would be a much thinner wing cord and probably symmetrical. This is not symmetrical. The top, if you put a line down the middle, the top is different to the bottom. We do have some washout going on there, and we can see that already here, and again, it will probably be more obvious down the other end. But it's obvious for us to see that it's going to be quite a decent lifty wing, and also the depth in there is going to be really quite nice in, I'm going to say, less than ideal flying conditions. So just by looking at the profile or the chord of the wing is that with its length, its height and its thickness and the way it looks to me is that I'm expecting this model to perform in pretty good wind conditions, like maybe 15 miles an hour. I don't want to say anything more than that until we get it out, but I am expecting it to be pretty stable in a range of flying conditions. And that's first impressions, just looking at the end. If we look down there at the wingtip, yeah, it's just a miniature version in there. So beautifully. That is so... Right, so some of you may know I've been doing kettlebells recently. So... That is obscenely dense EPP. I know that's right up there. It is so tough. Look, if I bashed this on my desk, I would break the desk. I'm not kidding you, it's so dense. So ridiculously dense, and it's buckling because it's so thin now. It's insanely dense. Right. So yeah, premium quality foam. Oh, nice to see. Just look at that. Can you see the quality? There is not even a single snot trail from the hot wire. So sometimes when wings are cut out of EPP foam, they plough through so quickly is that you get loads and loads of mess over the top of the wings. There's not even a hint of a single drag in there, and each of the cells, there's like very few little cells which are not melted over. So that was taken through with either an extremely hot wire, very hot wire, if that makes sense, or very gently, and it's been tested over many runs. That is extremely obvious. So yeah, that makes sense with all those glass fibre rods. We've got glass fibre rods top and bottom. That does make sense. Nice big wingspan as well. So let's move that out of the way. Let's go and get this thing built up on the desk. So yeah, really impressed by the foam. Genuinely really impressed by the foam. That is something quite... Oh, that's a nice touch. Thank you, sir. Do you know what? I needed to buy some of that. Thank you. I didn't know that was going to be in the kit. I genuinely appreciate that. That's good. That's clear. So that was the glue which he used on the, must have used on the fuselage itself. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, directions must be clean and tight fitting. Wear gloves to avoid skin hot. We're staying closed. Damp it, glue it, grip it. Fantastic. So as you put some moisture on one side, put some glue on the other side. Thank you. I always wanted to try that, so we'll try this out with the foam. I've tried the normal Gorilla Glue, the polyurethane stuff. Bit crap. People like it because it bubbles out and fills gaps, but remember those bubbles don't provide any structural support. This is a different type of glue, so yeah, I'm interested in that. Thank you for that. I appreciate. I literally need to buy some Gorilla Glue for a different project, and I was going to go for the polyurethane, but I will use that on this build. So because I'm curious to see how well it does. Anyway, wow, that foam. Where's the dents? That says everything. That is right up there with the most densest foam I've ever come across for EPP foam. In fact, the densest foam I've ever come across for EPO foam was in the Strix Goblin. That stuff was insane. This is the same kind of level and beyond, because as we know, EPP foam is way better. Wow, let's just get this quickly put together so we can have a quick nose. This is going to be a relatively quick build, to say the least. I can see the wife walking into the office from out there as well, so I'm sure she'll come in and give us a bollocking. What do you reckon of the new foam? I got the look. Yeah, the dog's in there. I just got the look. More foam, Matt. Fuck it, I'm gonna leave that in there. Right, let's get in here. And I wonder why there's tape on the end. Oh, I wonder if there's tape on the end to stop it puncturing the box. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Right, let's get ourselves in here. Like so. Build time and build complexity. I personally don't class this as a complex build at all. Those of you The only complicated thing or mildly scary thing which you might come across with a build like this is the laminating, which I can assure you, laminating is really not hard at all. And I've already done a series on laminating, and I'll put a link to it in the video description in the top right hand corner, because it is so easy to do. It just requires a tiny bit of pre-planning to do it. So is that one? Don't know which one's the... Yeah, that's got to be the rear one, he says. How far does that one go in? Yeah, that's the short one. We'll get there, we'll get there. Cool. The one obvious tiny bit of feedback, but is it feedback? I don't know. Is it? Ooh, that does fit very nicely together. What am I thinking? I am thinking my one tiny little piece of feedback for my first impressions, besides the foam is absolutely amazing, etc, etc, which it is, just fantastic foam. It is, yeah, that is, right, I joke at the intros about being a foam connoisseur, and I'm here stroking the foam. It is such nice foam. It is amazing quality, and I've had premium kits here before, and that foam's good. Don't get me wrong. This foam, right out there. Stick that on the end. Let's leave the stickers on there as well. So, as I was trying to get to, as far as the build goes, is that it's not going to be particularly hard to do. Is that straight? Are you catching me? Like, you've seen me literally just unbox it. Alright, must be an optical illusion. That is definitely straight. Sorry, I looked at the back and it didn't look like it was straight, but I've just put a square edge on there. And that's square. And what's thrown me off is that side is like a millimetre out. It made it look off, but no, it's definitely square, that's for sure. Right, sorry. There's the lid on there. Right, because the lid's white and we're not doing any black and white colour schemes on this one, although, yeah. So I'll stick that on there. We've got that thin, fits on the lid, I presume, which we glue on. Yeah. There is a downloadable manual. I have been sent it. I probably should read it if I'm frankly honest. Right, let's just get to the build for a moment. The build is going to be really straightforward. All I'm going to do is run some glue down there and stick scuff up the glass fibre rods, stick them in the wings. That's going to be like gluing pin, job done. Then I'll need to work out where my electronics are going. Now, as many of you know, I do like to put receivers out and wings and video transmitters out and wings, just for maximum separation. However, you've got to be honest, that is a very large bay in there, so you'd put your battery at the front, FPV camera on the nose, massive amounts of room in the middle for a flight controller. You would fit the big wing board in there easy, from Maytech. A bay back here for the ESC, and then maybe holes to go through the motor. Oh, that was it. My only one piece of observation, and it's only a minor observation and one tiny bit of feedback, which I'll now get to, is that it would have been quite nice if we had some pre-made holes in the corners down here in the fuselage to run the wires through. So what I'm basically saying is that instead of Matty using the soldering iron or a blowtorch with a metal rod and then making my own holes in there, it would have been quite nice if we had the pre-made holes in each corner on either side to run cables down, so we can run power down one side and then other electronics like FPV down the other side. That's my only tiny bit of feedback, okay, and that's just a bit of feedback, but that in the scheme of things, the fuselage is pre-made for us, so yeah, really straightforward. So yeah, coming back to build it, gluing those in, glue the wings on. I will need to work out where I'm going to put the servos. That now where Matt should probably read the manual and work out where the servos would go. One always daft point is that wherever the wing, the elevons are going to go, is that you do the servo in 90 degrees to this surface. So I'll use a square edge and place them, well, to be honest, to be wherever the wires are. to come into the fuselage, so wherever along the standard wire is to go out there, that's where I'll place it. It will be as far as possible across from the wing. I'll mount those in there. They will be top mounted, so whereas it may be prettier for a servo to be mounted underneath a wing, so visually more pleasing, you've got to remember is that the majority of your stick action, okay, is pulling back on a stick. If you've got the servo on the top, then when it pulls to lift up the surface at the back, then that push rod is in tension. As such, that is a much stronger, more direct movement to the actual surface itself, whereas compared to a push motion, if you've got any bend in there, that's where the servos give. Okay, so yeah, the servos will be mounted on the top. I've got to be brutally honest, I am probably just going to use some of those Racestar servos which we saw a short while ago. I've used them in a couple of models now, been genuinely impressed with them, so that's what I'm going to be putting in here. Those of you looking for a more premium servo, without a doubt the Corona 939 metal geared servos. And by the way, I'll tell you what, I've already got a fair idea what I'm going to be doing with this one. The only question I've got is around the motor. I'll put links to everything which I'm going to be putting in mine in the video description below for you, so to get you off to a good start. But like I said, motor wise, not entirely sure. I need to go in my motor bin and have a nose. And just to be aware, Stealthwings, they do offer the full lot where you can include the servos, motors, ESC. They'll sort you out with everything which you need as part of the kit if that's what you need. For me, I'm going au naturel because I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, we'll say 14 boxes of parts here. So I've always got parts to make models with, so that's what I'm going to be doing with mine. Yeah, and then the rest of the build, it will just be laminating, and once it's all glued together, it'll be pretty straightforward to lam, and our lam it is one whole piece. The only customization will be around cutting through the sidewalls for the servos to get those in, for the receiver, for the FPV on that side, and then whatever I do in the nose for the camera itself. So yeah, first impressions, that foam is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I kid when I talk about foam being good quality and foam connoisseur, but if you ever get to see one of these in real life, that foam is just insane. That is 10 out of 10 quality EPP. So whoever your supplier is for this foam, don't change them. Stealthwings, that foam is absolutely fantastic. Yeah. That knocked me sideways. Oh, and we got that glue to try out as well, so watch that space. I've never used that glue before, but it's included. That's what he's recommending. So he must have used it with many models before, so we'll give it a punt. Premium quality parts, so premium foam. Absolutely premium foam. Fuselage pre-built for you. Components in here, it's got a wicked, manual, which I did have like a 2-second glance at. And I think I actually was really mean. I said, just send me the CG, I'll work out the rest of it out. But that's me being more matte, if that makes sense. It comes with too much laminate, which is fantastic. You've got balsa elevons and you've got glass fibre parts, which I haven't seen glass fibre in absolutely ages. So I'm really looking forward to building this one. I really am. It's going to be a nice, enjoyable build. There's nothing scary about this. It's all straightforward. The only question which I'm left with is what motor do I stick on the back of it? Oh, and of course this model is set up for 5200 4S packs. Let me just go and grab one off the side. I'll get one of the new ones because the old ones you technically can't get anymore. But this model is designed for 5200 4S packs. I do have a Lion pack here somewhere on my workbench. It's hiding just here. As an alternative to that would be those are LG MJ1 3500 milliampere 10 amp cells, and that's a 4S 2P pack which I need to finish off. That would also be a prime candidate in there, and of course I could get that much further back as well if centre gravity is an issue, which I don't think it will be. So yeah, how curious. I was a little bit cautious at the beginning, so I just genuinely didn't know what was going to turn up. And the quality of the foam, 10, 11 out of 10. Good morning, Matt. Today is going to be a good day for building. Really looking forward to this one. So with that said, for myself, Matt, if you've got any questions or comments about the, we call it Raphax, however you pronounce it, it's from stealthwings.com. I will put a link to their website in the video description. Remember, we always hold our final review until we get the model in the sky. First impressions are very, very good. Okay, as in that foam is fantastic. You heard me bash the living daylights out of the workbench, and you didn't even see the smallest little dent in there. And there's so much spare foam. Thank you. By the way, that's the other benefit of being sent the cores for the wings, is this is so much spare foam. This is gonna that foam is gonna live on in so many other models, which is fantastic. So yeah, can you hear how fucking loud that is? Did that? Yeah. So yes, questions and comments. Let me know in the comment section underneath this video here on YouTube. And on that note, from myself, Matt, thank you very much for taking the time to join me here at the workbench for another absolutely fantastic foam day. Really nice foam. Really nice foam. Time for me to go. As always, cheerios! Oh, by the way, don't forget to press the subscribe button and also to hit the bell notification, because the next video which is out could quite well be the build overview, could even also be the maiden of the Raphax. Can't wait, this one's going to be done in a day or so. For myself, Matt, cheerios!